Hi everyone, this is Genevieve from the blog gracefullyhome.com, and today I am sharing a simple tutorial on how to make plain Ritva IKEA curtains look more custom made. The items you'll need are the curtains from IKEA. This is the Ritva. They come in a 2-pack and they are a lot longer than your regular curtains. They're 98 inches. And so I wanted to get the longer curtains because I knew that I wanted my husband to raise the bar higher to make it have more of a dramatic look. I also need these pleated hooks. This one is by the company Dritz. They've been around forever, it seems like, but I purchased these also from Amazon. They come with 10 of these hooks here, and on these hooks there are 4 prongs and a little hook here that goes on to the next item you'll need are these little rings. And for this application, I'm not going to use the clips that come with the rings. I'm actually going to try to pry those off and use, it kind of looks like an S hook, and I'm going to put that on here, this S hook piece on the bottom. I'm going to attach it and clamp it down to this piece here. I don't want it to be where when the littles open up their curtains, this is going to fall off, because this way it was falling off. I've already done sampling and it kept falling off, so I don't want that. I want it to be as easy as possible for them. If you've been following me on Instagram, you know that I love simplifying everything. For my project, I did, like I mentioned, get the longer curtains, so I did end up having to cut all 8 curtains on the bottom and then hem it, which didn't take that long. It was mainly just measuring that took a long time. It did take time having to pin each panel. However, I want it to be as straight as possible. I had done the same thing with these panels here that I made for our living room, and that's just like a linen blend, and I only made 1 panel per window. That ended up only being 4 panels. This was 8, because I want to make sure that in this particular room they're going to be able to open it up and kind of frame the window. Eventually we're going to add some window molding to give it that farmhouse look. After all, it is a farmhouse. On this particular panel, it has 9 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And in each of these 9 sections, there are 16 of these loops, but there are 3 rows. And so you have your 4-pronged pleat hook. If you're using the pattern that I'm using, I skipped this whole section here. I started counting from this second section. This is just a partial section. This is a full section. I skip 1 space, 2 space, 3, and I'm putting my first prong on the right in that 3rd loop. Next, let me show you a little closer up. Here's the partial section, and then here is a full section. And I'm starting with the first full section, and there are 16 loops, 9 sections. I'm working with the first section, 1 section at a time. And I'm skipping 1 section in between the one that I'm actually using. So the working section. There are 4 prongs like I mentioned, and the first prong, at least for my pattern, I'm going into the 3rd loop. So I skipped 1, 2, and on the 3rd one I put my first prong through that loop. Then I'm going to count. This is the only time that I'll count once I get that first prong in. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this second prong, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 spots, 4 loops. And then I'll place that hook in. So now there are 2 prongs in the loops. Now I'm going to count again, 1, 2, 3, 4. This 3rd prong here goes into that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, just making sure on this first one that I get it in the right loop. Now I have 3 prongs in the 3 loops, counting again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that leaves me only 1 slot on this side, which it's okay, it doesn't really show it on the front side. It'll still look like a regular pleat. That's just the way that I had it set up. So there are 2 on this one, 1 on that one. I know I could have done 5, or you could do 3. It depends on what pattern you're using. This one just worked out easy for me. So now I'm going to the 2nd row, and on that 2nd row, I'm going to place these 4 prongs again in the loop directly above the loop that I already put the prong in. So on this 2nd row, I really don't need to count. I just kind of place it into the one that lines up. And it makes it a lot easier, as you can see. Now this will slip out. There are several times where it slips out. It's very slippery, but if you kind of go slowly, it'll go in where it needs to go. So then see here, I can see that this one here is lined up with this 3rd prong. And then I'm going to very carefully try to keep those 2 prongs in their slot. So you see how I didn't even have to count. And then I know that this one's on the 2nd to the last one, holding down on those 3 previous prongs that are already in the loop. Now I put my 4th one in. And now I'll do the same thing. I'll repeat the steps on the last row, which is the 3rd row. And it goes pretty quickly. See how that one fell out? I'm just going to put it back in and then carefully put in. I put that 3rd one in pretty easily, and then put the last one in, and there you have it. And then you just be careful when you're adjusting it on the front side, because it might slip out on the other side. There's your first pleat. Then you just repeat the whole process. So here I have an example of what the rings look like when I first purchased them, and what they look like after I removed the little clip. So now it just kind of looks not really like an S hook, but it looks like it has kind of almost like an eyelet here. And I will wrap that around this part of pleated hook. So this will go like this. I will close this part, and then I also closed this part just a little bit so that when the littles open up their curtains, this isn't going to fall off and the heavy curtain's not going to fall to the floor. And that's how easy it was. Basically, once I got the system down, it went really fast. If you're new to my channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more inspiration for holistic living through back to basics for the home, heart, and health. See you next time in the hollow.